The biggest message I wanted to send was that that the coaches, particularly in the youth and the lower levels, it doesn't really matter what level, but even more so at the young levels, have such a great effect on kids' lives and on how they decide whether they want to do the right things or the wrong things, and it teaches them great life lessons they can use when they do graduate from high school or college, even if they don't play football after that point. So I just thought it was a message that the coaches are so important to the development of these kids and help them to get ready to go on for the real life.
You take a look at the turnaround for the Wolverines. Talk about what you guys were able to do. How are you guys able to flip the script in such a quick amount of time, at least as far as national perception goes?
Well, I can tell you the first and foremost thing is that the kids did a great job. They worked as hard as they could work. They were tired of being ridiculed and put down, and they played extremely hard all the time, and they had great chemistry. The team cared about one another, and no matter what happened during the course of a game, they always hung in there and always seemed to find a way to win at the end of the game.
Were you with Coach Hoke at Ball State then?
I was there for 6 years at Ball State with him, and then 2 years out at San Diego State with him, and then now at Michigan.
Okay, I'm a Muncie native, so I used to go to all those games back when Brad Maynard was punting. That's a long time ago. But talk about the rise of Coach Hoke and what has made him successful. Here's a guy who started off as a substitute teacher out at Yorktown High School and has worked his way all the way up to one of the biggest programs in the history of college football.
Well, first and foremost, Coach Hoke is one of the most genuine, sincere people I've ever met in my life. Cares about you, cares about your family, sincerely cares about his players, whether he was an assistant coach or the head coach. And I think that kids will do whatever you ask them to do as long as they know you care about them. And the one thing that Coach Hoke's has just been so good about is that those kids want to play for him. And I think that's just as contagious, and it just breeds success.
How do you guys build upon the success that you had last season up in Ann Arbor?
Well, we got to realize that what we did last year's over with. The kids did a great job, but ultimately we didn't achieve the goal we want to achieve, and that's to win the Big Ten championship. First and foremost, that's always the goal at Michigan. So there's still a lot of things to be done there. The kids have to understand that, and then you're only as good as your next game, and you've got to continue to improve every time you go out there if you're going to compete at the highest level.
Specifically on the defensive side of the football, you guys took a monumental jump. What was the key in changing kind of the mentality and X's and O's, also the philosophy of the Michigan defense?
Well, a couple of things I think were big factors in why defensively we played better. First off, offensively, we were a much more clock-controlled team. And when you stop and think about it, we huddled, we did the things, and that's one thing that I know Coach is working more and more towards, is that the offense and defense always work together when it comes to winning football games, however you can do that. But, from the standpoint of just on the defensive side, fundamentals and techniques, kids just understanding alignments, assignments, looking at the right things, blow delivery, getting off of blocks, tackling, keeping the ball in front and inside, not giving up big plays, and then the kids just played hard. They played extremely hard, and when you play hard, good things will happen.
Anything else you'd like to add?
That's it. Thanks.